Bros and hoes, you're listening to Your Favorite Thing podcast with
Wells and Brandi. All right, let's talk about the episode 2 of Jenn's Journey for Love. I tell you what, good episode.
You think?
Everyone hates this fucking Devin guy.
What's so wrong with him? I don't get it. Like, I get like it's icky when somebody pulls her and cuts into the group time, but that's how you make a connection. And I'm like, really, we're still mad about this?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of mistakes being made. But we'll get to that. But I like this Devin guy. I love him. He seems so annoying.
I mean, I like him kind of.
It's probably very, very evident to her that he's a problem. You know, like multiple people are saying it to her in real time. Whereas like usually it's like, hey, just by the way, there's people here not for the right reasons. Then they got to figure it out, you know, and they got to figure out who's saying who. But, you know, you got two guys being like, fuck this guy, you know?
Right.
And she's kind of seen it firsthand, I think. Like, we'll get into it, but like stealing, like it is a faux pas to like steal away during a group date to go get ice cream.
It is, but also like as the woman, I'm like, yes, like take some initiative, pursue me, love this for me.
For sure.
Like how else do you make an impression, really?
I know, but here's the thing. Jenn was in those guys' position not 5 months ago, and she remembers how fucking annoying that is when you're on a group date and someone does that, you know? So she must have empathy.
Okay.
But she's also got a producer probably being like, this guy's making great TV. Shut the fuck up and enjoy it. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's go to Melbourne.
Melbourne. Why are they all pronouncing it like they're Australian?
Yeah, you're not Australian, guys.
Did someone tell them to do that? Because they're all doing it.
I imagine that they ran into somebody who is Australian and was like, all right, mate, we say it Melbourne, not Melbourne. You know?
Melbourne.
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 But yeah, it's funny that they're all doing that.
It is funny.
So we start off with a group date to the fucking market.
You didn't like that?
Ooh, man, I don't tell you what, we are running out of money when we're like, let's go to fucking Safeway, guys.
Well, they spent too much on the plane tickets. Yikes.
Oh, man. I will say I agree. Vegemite does suck ass.
I mean, it sounds terrible.
Have you never had Vegemite?
No, I will never.
Well, remember I went on a whole like diatribe about Scotland and their Marmite?
Yes.
And so I looked it up. I was like, is Marmite Vegemite? And I guess Vegemite's a little less salty, so it sucks maybe a little bit less. But Vegemite does suck, and I don't know what is wrong with. I don't know like who did this to you to make you guys want this salt bomb. I mean, I assume it was the English. You know,
yeah, for sure.
They colonized and they were like, you're going to like this terrible thing. And they were like, what? Hey, why do you guys all have terrible food? And
your accent is terrible.
And hey, guys, hey, we're going to the market. And first thing we're going to do, you're going to eat some kangaroo nuts.
Disgusting.
You want to show your love? Eat some kangaroo nuts, you fucks. That's like the... Like, what? I mean, like, wait, guys, I didn't ask for that. And then Devin steals for some ice cream.
Yeah, I thought that was cute.
I mean, it's great. And like, I tell you the other thing that's going to be frustrating about it. As someone who's like been on this experience, Devin's getting preferential treatment with producers. There's no doubt about it. A producer's coming up to him and been like, hey, I've got a good idea. Not for nothing, but like Devin's not being like, hey guys, can I do a little ice cream date? I got this crazy idea that I'm going to take this ice cream date. And, you know, I think he's game. All these other guys are like, why is Devin getting this opportunity just in general? You know?
Yeah.
Like I would have loved to have pulled her aside and been like, let's go get some ice cream. Fuck these guys.
Because they want to stir the pot.
For sure. But anyways, it was great, and it pissed off a lot of people, and I love that for everybody.
Yeah.
And then we're off to a comedy show, and we're sticking with the theme of spending $0 on this date with a comedian who, I don't know if they're a comedian.
I don't think so. I think you could have done better.
I think that, do you know who I think that was?
No.
I think, you ever been to a comedy show, and there's someone who's there that like brings up the comics?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's who that was.
Interesting.
You know?
Overall,
I did like that it turned into a roast where everyone was just ripping on Devin. That made me.
That was nice.
That made me feel really good. My favorite joke was Devin talks about himself too much. Devin talks about his feet, and he's ugly. What? That's the terrible joke, and it's so funny.
It's also just so mean.
So mean.
I hate it. I hate it.
It's the worst joke. That is so funny. And you're ugly.
I really got you.
It's such a bad joke. And I fucking nailed him. Oh, God damn.
Jeez.
Oh, that was pretty funny. And then the other guy, Noah's brother. What is his name?
Oh, yeah, he kind of drives me fucking crazy.
Well, anyways, he does have a funny joke. He's like, you're budget Pete Davidson. So you're him without a big dick and a sense of humor. Nailed him.
He doesn't really look like Pete Davidson.
No, I don't think so. I just think that, so, okay, this is a mean thing I'm going to say, but I think this is where they're coming from. Pete Davidson dates chicks that everyone's like, he is not good looking enough to date this chick, right? Like, that's his whole thing. You're like, how is he doing this? And I think that's what this guy is, because everyone's like, you know, bodybuilder, like really good looking, whatever.
Are they? There's no standouts for me, except the one guy that's clearly a piece of shit.
I get it. I think what the subcontext is, you're like Pete Davidson. You're a guy who's not attractive enough to be dating this beautiful person.
Got it.
That's what I get out of it. And then they're calling him Pete Davidson. And the joke before that was, you're ugly.
Right, right. Christ. He's not that ugly. Like, what the fuck?
I don't think so at all. I just think you talk about yourself too much and you're ugly. It's like, Jesus. All right.
That's like, yeah, that's all you got?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, come on, we're not talking. Actually, some of them are like astrophysicists, right?
There's a couple smart guys.
Yeah, exactly. Did you take a class?
Yeah.
Then they go to an after party, and then the only thing that like really stuck out about me from the after party in the beginning was just there's a guy with the Burberry scarf on, and I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, guy. But what is it? 2007?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of clothing, there was also a guy on one of the group dates in a Gucci jacket.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh, get it.
But
Super
also,
fly.
That's expensive.
Here for that.
Dude, when I went on that show, I was so broke. I went to H&M, got everything at H&M. All my suits, all my shirts.
It's okay.
Yeah. Oh, Aaron is his name. Noah's brother's name is Aaron. So then Aaron pulls Devin and calls him a boy. Which, okay.
Fine.
And then, you know, I feel like it's always the same story. You know, it's like, I don't think that you're like ready for this, and totally. I'm serious about this.
You're wasting her time.
Yeah, and like, come on, what are you doing? And like, we all know you're not serious, and I'm serious. And it's like, this is a tale as old as time.
Yeah,
you know?
The thing I just don't love about this is Aaron, that's his name. Like, it's giving, I think I'm better than you. And like, I just don't love that.
Interesting. You are Team Devin here.
Yeah, I am.
I'm Team Devin purely because he's a shit stirrer. You're Team Devin because you agree with him.
When people like just think they're above others and like to belittle somebody else, like to me that's giving like your dick is small. I just don't love it.
Yeah, it's a little like schoolhouse bully. I don't disagree with that, but I also think that he's doing stuff to deserve some of this.
For sure.
Vitriol.
Totally.
He's now realizing he can like twist the knife, and he's liking that, I think. So, you know, Aaron calls him a boy. You're not really ready for this, yada, yada, yada. But then Aaron goes and talks to Jenn, and then he comes in and steals with the ice cream, which is so funny, you know? And Aaron's like, no, I want a couple more minutes. And he's like, the ice cream is melting. I can't spare a minute. Sorry, guy. So then he does that. It's so awkward. I feel bad for Jenn because I feel like she's had a lot of awkward encounters with stealing right off the bat, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe it's a little bit on her. Maybe it's a little her being like, hey, give me like 2 more minutes. We'll do the ice cream in a second, you know? She's kind of allowing this to play through. So then Aaron goes outside. Someone goes up and pumps his tires up. I don't even know who it was, but someone was like, you should go fucking steal. That would have been me. That's my character on The Bachelorette is out of the mouth like, hey, what did Chad do? You should fucking do something about that. Or are you? I'll be right behind you. No, I won't.
No, I will not.
No, I won't.
I will not be compromising myself.
And so it just becomes really, really awkward where it does look bad just on all parts. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that if Aaron had just chilled, it would have just looked bad on Devin's part. Grant gets the rose.
I love Grant. He's one of my faves.
Love him too.
So cute.
Shocker that Aaron and Devin didn't get the rose.
Shocker.
They're in those interviews like, yeah, if I don't get this rose. I wish I was a producer on that show being like, you think there's a fucking world in which you're getting a rose? You guys were both children tonight. And it was beautiful. And thank you. Keep doing that. Good, yeah. Keep doing that if you can. Then Marcus gets the one-on-one. And he's the guy that we met like right off the bat in the first episode, right? Like he's the Army Ranger guy. And they're doing the skydiving date.
I'm shocked she agreed to this.
Me too. I also am shocked that they got someone who's an Army Ranger who's like not scared about this at all. I think that if you're going to do it, both people need to be scared about this situation.
I know. I agree.
And I'm amazed they're doing skydiving date because I don't know if you remember, but last time I think they did a skydiving date was in Nemacolin, Pennsylvania. I was there, and that 12-year-old boy was a skydiving instructor, and they strapped him to freaking Rachel Kirkconnell. I think that's who it was. And they fell. That kid broke his ankle. She almost broke her back or her butt or something like that. You remember that?
I don't remember this.
I remember being like, you could sue the lady if you wanted to, but she didn't do that, which is nice. So anyways, we find out Marcus is a hero.
I like Marcus.
I do too. I thought he was like go into like, I've got PTSD because I like killed insurgents. I thought he was going to go like really dark. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. You know? But the grenade thing's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Anywho, all right, new date next day. Photo shoot with I could only assume is the crocodile hunter's like poor cousin.
Definitely.
You know? They got like the alligator wrangler, not the crocodile hunter. Fun date. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Let me tell you something. I don't care how fucking hot you are. I don't care how badly that I want to find the person of my dreams on an amazing journey that's being televised on national television. You're never getting a fucking spider on me for $1 million, zillion, quadrillion dollars.
That poor guy. I felt so bad for him.
I would have been straight up, hey, Jen, I'm a lot of things. But I'm not a guy that's going to fucking hang out with a tarantula that's kind of venomous on my body whilst we take pictures.
No.
So if you want to take pictures with me and a koala,
I love that. Great.
That sugar glider I saw, perfect.
Love those.
Love them.
Little kangaroo? Sure.
A little Joey. But you're coming in here with a fucking, and it's Australia where all the spiders. There's a spider in Australia that catches birds in its web and eats them.
Wow. Did you learn that from Our Planet or what?
I don't know. I saw that somewhere.
Planet Earth, Our Planet, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And then the irony of it all. She's like kind of making fun of him for being scared of spiders, which I totally understand. And then a snake comes in and Dylan steps up with the snake.
Dylan's hot.
Totally. And she's like, thank you for coming in and saving me. You know, like that's what a real, hey, Jen, where the fuck were you 10 minutes ago when the guy over here was freaked out by the spider?
True.
You know?
Yeah.
Why this is a double standard here.
True.
Okay.
Did you notice that fucking snake was wrapped around his neck?
Yeah.
It could have choked him in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I would have not been down. And he was chilling.
Yeah.
Hot.
You like that, huh?
I liked that.
I know. So I'm the same way. I think the snake wouldn't have bothered me, but that spider, 100%.
I wouldn't have wanted to touch either, to be completely honest.
Yeah. Anyways, the end of the episode just turns into so because all of those guys get sent home because they're not Dylan, who stepped up and was like, I'll hold the snake for you. But everyone was like, I'll do it, you know?
Yeah.
But whatever. All those guys get so riled up. I remember those car rides when you're like, oh, we didn't get any fucking time. Oh, those fucking guys back at the house, they better let us have time. You know, they don't be dicks. We get the first opportunity. I remember those dates. And Thomas gets real salty about the whole situation, you know?
Yep.
But I will say this, though. You know, they come back. They present that with, hey, guys, we got screwed. You guys had this went to Ralph's shopping expedition and got to hang out with her, you know.
Ralph.
We didn't get any of that, okay? We had a sugar glider shit on my shoulder, and like that was it. So we've all made the decision that we think it would be cool if you guys let us all talk to her first. Everyone agrees. Even Devin agrees. Mm-hmm. He said, look, I'm not going to take a step back, but of course I want to let you guys have time. Which, well done for wording it that way, sir, because you're not wrong.
Right.
But you did insinuate that you wouldn't be the first motherfucker that pulls the girl. That's what I would have taken from it.
Uh-huh.
And this really gets Thomas's gears a grinding, doesn't it? Which I totally understand. I would say this too. Thomas, you're too emotional to be getting in fights with dudes.
True.
You know? Like, I feel like the entire interview that he had about the entire night, his eyes were bloodshot red because you could see that he was crying.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But anywho,
Yikes.
You know, that whole thing happens. Like, it's a real bad back and forth. She can hear it, which is great, though. I also think that's good. I think that's good when the lead can hear that shit. Mm-hmm. Because
yeah, I do
too. She's not a crazy person, and I'm sure she's like, okay, this is the second guy's annoyed with this guy.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. I get it. You know? Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe, Thomas, you're being a little sensitive, and yes, of course, you're taking the decision out of my hands. But let's be fair. You're not pulling us to talk to us first. We're having to do it. So the decision's never yours because you don't do it. You know?
Yeah.
The only time you pull anybody is night one when you have a fucking first impression rose.
Right.
So while I don't disagree with what she said, in premise, it's a fallacy. Mm-hmm. The guys are in charge of deciding when they come and get you.
Yeah.
Who's right?
I don't know.
Devin, Thomas, Aaron.
Not Aaron. It's just not my fave.
He's not your cup of tea. That's all I really got. That's the entire episode.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, my thing was like, the Devin drama. But aside from that, I feel like it's like the consensus with everybody is like, oh yeah, I really like him. Yeah, I really like him. Yeah, I really like him. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of like, yeah, he's great.
Like in terms of that's how she feels about Devin?
No, just like all the guys. Like any guy that she has.
Well, she likes that Sam guy, right?
Which walking red flag. You can just see it in his eyes, you know?
Yeah.
It's giving, who was that crazy guy on Hannah Brown's season? The blondie?
Oh, Luke P.
Giving Luke P to me.
Okay, whoa. Those are big accusations.
That's the vibes I'm getting from this guy. A little Luke P situation.
My only complaint about the episode is that we didn't have her pick Devin and Thomas and Aaron in the last three. Mm-hmm. I want there to be some suspense, but Devin gets his rose like really like in the middle of it.
I mean, something tells me a 2-on-1 is in our future.
Oh, I hope it's a 3-on-1.
I mean, that would be great. Yeah. Would a 3-on-1 be as awkward though? Because what if two team up on one? I don't know. I feel
that's what's going to happen. 100%. And then the immediate response will be, you guys are being bullies to him.
Yeah.
And that's how you get that's how you get a 3. That's how you kill 3 birds with 1 stone, baby. It's going to be a bloodbath, a red wedding.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
But who knows? What do I know?
More than I know.
That's true.
This podcast has been brought to you by Podcast Nation.